I've missed this so much, guys. Hello my fellow soulmates and food lovers, and welcome to another episode of Eileen's Kitchen Stories. As you might have seen on the clock, it is a new month. It's going to be another country that I'm going to introduce you, and it is the UK, the United Kingdom. Some of you may or may not know that I have lived in the UK and I actually fell in love with the people, with the food that they have, yes, with the food. Today I'm going to show you one thing that's very typical. They're very, very passionate about their teas, cream tea or the Devonshire tea. As a side, you have some scones. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do scones. And whether you say scones or scones, so that really depends on your personal preference, according to whether you're from the northern part or whether you're from the south of the United Kingdom maybe. So guys, if you want to know how to make these beautiful scones, and if you want to know how to make a nice strawberry jam with it, then stick with me and I'm going to show you the ingredients now. So guys, most importantly, we're going to start off by making our jam. So the strawberries are going to go into the pot. We're going to add the sugar. You can use regular sugar. I use sugar that is a little bit infused with vanilla. We're going to also add half of a lemon, so lemon juice of that in there. And we're going to use the lemon zest as well, of a whole lemon. And then we need to let this simmer for approximately 8 to 10 minutes, and then we need to let it cool off completely, pop it into the fridge, and then we can carry on with our scones. Now guys, the main difference actually between the American scones and the British scones is the fat to flour ratio. In America they use far more butter than we use here in the UK, and this actually makes up a completely different dough. For the American version you use far more sugar than you would use in the British one as well. The British scone is eaten afterwards with the clotted cream, but also with the sweet strawberry jam that we are actually making right now. So you don't need as much sugar in the actual dough. Another difference is also the add-ins. In America, people love to put in chunks of chocolate chips or dried fruits and things like that. Stuff like that you do in the UK as well, but it's not as common. I'm going to show you today that you can use them with the dried currants, but that's absolutely optional. A lot of people in the UK just want them plain with the clotted cream and strawberry jam on top. They're just good to go. Okay guys, and now we are done. Look at this, it's super nice and thick. And just imagine if we let it cool off completely now and pop it into the fridge, it's gonna be even thicker. Okay guys, now let's concentrate on the scones. And the only thing that you actually need to know about the scones is you need to work the dough as little as possible, because if you overwork the dough, it's not going to rise and they're going to be very tight. Into my lovely flour, which right here is a self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour at home, you can look at the link in the description box for the recipe. I'm going to show you how to make your own self-rising flour. I'm going to add some salt to it, just a pinch. I'm going to add the sugar, a little bit more of the baking powder, and now I'm just going to swiftly mix it. And now we need to pop in our butter. Now make sure this is cold butter, and now we need to dive in with our hands to this. So we need to crumble and make sort of a breadcrumb mix with it. Do you see this breadcrumb texture right here? This is exactly what we're aiming for. Okay, and now it's time to make a well in the middle and add our wet ingredients. I'm gonna add our 2 eggs and the milk. And just before it comes together perfectly, we're gonna add in our raisins, or the currants in that case. I've actually soaked these overnight in some orange juice so that we can have some soft currants in the scones later on. So in they go as well. If you see that the dough is a little too dry, add a little bit more of the milk, but I think I'm gonna be all right with this. As you can see, it still is very crumbly, and this is exactly what we're looking for. Okay, now onto the surface with it. And very lightly bring it together. We don't need to knead it very much, just trying to get it together as one whole. Okay, this looks great. Cover this with some cling film and let it rest in the fridge for another 15 minutes until we can actually spread it, cut it out, and then bake it. So now that the dough has rested, we can spread it onto the table just ever so slightly until you have a thickness of around 2 centimeters. Okay, and if you have a scone cutter, then obviously you don't need to use a glass, but I don't have these, so I'm just going to use a glass. I'm going to pop it in some flour and then cut it out. And these are going to go into the oven now for about 12 to 15 minutes at 200 degrees. And before I do that, I need to glaze them a little bit with the egg wash. Now they're done. Let's have a look how they look. Wow! Okay, as you can see, I have some of the round ones which are super beautiful. These look perfect. We need to let them cool off a little bit and then eat them warm with a little bit of clotted cream and some strawberry jam. I'm so looking forward to this, guys. All right, guys, now to have the perfect scone, you just break it open, which this one does beautifully. And then we're gonna pop some clotted cream on top. Really depending on whether you eat it in Devon or in Cornwall, you might want to put your jam first. And then you have an amazing, beautiful looking scone. I'm just gonna go and bite into it. I've missed this so much, guys. You have no idea. I forgot to make myself a nice white tea with it, a tea with some milk in it, but I'm just in heaven right now, in plain heaven. If you are not in the UK at the moment and you can't get the clotted cream, you can also use some butter with it, or you can use some crème double if you want to. So guys, I hope you did like this little tutorial, this little recipe on how to make beautiful scones. I hope you're really gonna try these at home. Leave me in the comments below how they went, and also I'm really looking forward all the time to watching your comments and then responding to them. I would be amazed to see in the next video, guys, which is possible if you subscribe to my channel. And also it'd be absolutely amazing if you give this video a thumbs up or 2, and then I'm looking forward to seeing the next video, guys. Bye!